Hello, here we are at Temple Baptist Church in Poplar, Bluff, Missouri. Our devotional today, we're going to be in Psalms chapter 15. I invite you to turn there if you will. And I'm going to read verses 1 through 5 to you. Verse 2 out of this will be our text for what we're going to try to tell you about. But let's look at Psalms chapter 15. Let's look at the verse. Let's look at the whole chapter. I started to look at the first 5 verses. But Lord, who may abide in your tabernacle, who may dwell in your holy hills, he who walks upright and works righteousness and speaks the truth in his heart. He who does not backbite with his tongue, nor does evil to his neighbor, nor does he take up a reproach against his friend, in whose eyes a vile person is despised, but he honors those who fear the Lord. He who swears to his own hurt and does not change, he who does not put out his money in usury, nor does he take a bribe against the innocent. He who does these things shall never be moved. I don't know what neighborhood you live in. There's a lot of neighborhoods that have a homeowners association, or HOA they call it. And if you're going to live in that subdivision or that area, the homeowner is expected to abide by a certain agreement. Actually, this is called a covenant, and there's things that you just can't do. You can't let your grass get too high, or forget to put your trash can away, or even park on the streets. And if you don't abide by the covenant, then you can get fined. And so sometimes maybe you feel like that's a little restricted, but that's what we agreed to, or what you agreed to when you bought the house. If you live in one of these areas, that's what you agreed to. And so today's key passage is taken as an answer to the question the psalmist asked in the verse immediately preceding. In verse 1, Lord, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hills? In other words, who gets to live in your neighborhood, God? Who gets to live there? Well, first of all, it's those that have been redeemed by the blood of Christ. Christ sacrificed. He came, lived a sinful life. He died on a cross. He was buried. He arose the third day. He's ascended to heaven to make intercessions for us. And those who confess their sins and ask for forgiveness are His, and we will live in that home that He has prepared for us. He said, I go to prepare a place for you, and if I come again, I receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. But, just look at this. So when we look at verse 1 in that way, then you look at verse 2, reads like God's covenant, homeowner's covenant, in a way. And, if you want to abide in my tabernacle, then pay attention to how you live. Well, we aren't to try to live a righteous life. I agree with that, no doubt about it. But we are sinful in nature, and so sometimes we do slip and leave the trash can out a little too long, or don't mow our grass often enough. But take care to practice righteous. Tell the truth. This is the bare the minimum of what I expect from my residents. When we get to heaven, we are going to be in perfection. So, this homeowners association that they have here, and David talking about this, the walk upright and all that, and we should. We as Christians are to do every one of these things that David or the writer of Psalms chapter 15 is telling us to do. Walk up righteous, take care of and practice righteous, tell the truth. That is a bare minimum of what is expected, isn't it? Just a bare minimum. He don't expect a whole lot out of us, really, when you get right down to it. But, friend, we just need to abide by God's covenant today. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, and thy neighbor as thyself. When we're saved by the grace of God, we are an ambassador for Jesus. We need to put our best foot forward. We need to share the gospel at every opportunity we get. And the only way you're going to get to heaven is through the blood of Jesus Christ. So just, I hate to just be blunt about it, but that's the way the Bible reads. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes unto the Father but by me. Come and be a part of our services here at Temple. We meet on Sunday morning. Our first service is at 8 o'clock. Then we have Sunday school classes at 9. And then our second worship service Sunday morning is at 10 o'clock. And then we have services Sunday night at 6, Wednesday night at 7. You be welcome to any and all those services, and may God bless you is our prayer.